Finland joined the NATO military alliance, dealing a major blow to Russia with a historic realignment triggered by Moscow's invasion of Ukraine. With the handing over of documents, the Nordic nation officially entered the world's biggest security alliance, doubling its border with Russia. Finland's membership represents a major change in Europe's security landscape. The country adopted neutrality after its defeat by the Soviets in World War II, but its leaders signaled they wanted to join the alliance after Russian President Vladimir Putin's invasion of Ukraine sent a shiver of fear through Moscow's neighbors. The move is a strategic and political blow to Putin, who has long complained about NATO's expansion toward Russia and partly used that as a justification for the invasion. The alliance says it poses no threat to Moscow. Russia warned that it would be forced to take retaliatory measures to address what it calls security threats created by Finland's membership. It has also warned it will bolster forces near Finland if NATO sends any additional troops or equipment to what will be its 31st member country. Neighboring Sweden, which has avoided military alliances for more than 200 years, has also applied, but objections from NATO members Turkey and Hungary have delayed the process. Finland's membership became official when its foreign minister handed over documents completing its accession process to U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken. The U.S. State Department is the repository of NATO texts concerning membership. Kremlin spokesperson Dmitry Peskov said Tuesday that Finland's membership reflects the alliance's anti-Russian course and warned that Moscow will respond depending on what weapons NATO allies place there. We will closely monitor what will be going on in Finland and how NATO will use the territory of Finland for the deployment of weapons, equipment, and infrastructure next to our border that would potentially threaten us. Measures will be taken dependent on that, Peskov said in a conference call with reporters. But Peskov also sought to play down the impact, noting that Russia has no territorial disputes with Finland. It's not clear what additional military resources Russia could send to the Finnish border. Moscow has deployed the bulk of its most capable military units to Ukraine. Stoltenberg said that once it joins, Finland will benefit from NATO's ironclad security guarantee, under which all member countries vow to come to the defense of any ally that comes under attack. Referring to Finland, Stoltenberg said, by becoming a full-fledged member, we are removing the room for miscalculation in Moscow about NATO's readiness to protect Finland, and that makes Finland safer and stronger, and all of us safer. Finland's entry, to be marked with a flag-raising ceremony at NATO's headquarters, falls on the organization's very own birthday, the 74th anniversary of signing of its founding Washington Treaty on April 4, 1949. It also coincides with a meeting of the alliance's foreign ministers. Finland's president, foreign and defense ministers will take part in the ceremony. Turkey became the last NATO member country to ratify Finland's membership protocol on Thursday. Finland's acceptance into the US-led security alliance presents a blow to Russian President Vladimir Putin, who has long sought to undermine NATO and, before invading Ukraine, demanded the bloc refrain from further expansion. The invasion instead drove non-allying Finland and Sweden to abandon their neutrality and seek protection within NATO, though Sweden's attempt to join the bloc has been stalled by alliance members Turkey and Hungary. On the eve of Tuesday's ceremony, NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg heralded the raising of the Finnish flag for the first time at the alliance's headquarters in Belgium, saying it will be a good day for Finland's security, for Nordic security, and for NATO as a whole. Finland's NATO membership guarantees the Northern European nations access to the resources of the entire alliance in the event of an attack. It includes the protection offered by NATO's Article 5 principle, which states that an attack on one member of NATO is an attack on all members. It's been a cornerstone of the 30-member alliance since it was founded in 1949 as a counterweight to the Soviet Union. NATO membership also better integrates Finnish forces in training and planning with NATO allies. The country is no stranger to working with NATO, with its troops regularly participating in NATO exercises under a partner status. The Finnish Defense Force also operates some of the same weapons as other NATO members, including US-made Fa-18 fighters, German-designed Leopard main battle tanks, and K9 howitzers used by Norway and Estonia, among others. Helsinki has also signed on the F-35 stealth fighter program, which will allow its air force to work smoothly with NATO members including the US, UK, Norway, Italy, Canada, Poland, Denmark, and the Netherlands. A November report from the Washington-based Wilson Center lists three key areas where Finland benefits NATO: reserve forces, technology access, and artillery forces. Finland's artillery forces are the largest and best equipped in Western Europe, the report said, with some 1,500 artillery weapons, including 700 howitzer guns, 700 heavy mortar, and 100 rocket launcher systems. The Finnish artillery has more artillery firepower than the combined militaries of Poland, Germany, Norway, and Sweden can currently muster, it said. The Wilson Center report also noted Finland's strong cybersecurity record, pointing out the country is home to Nokia, a major provider of 5G infrastructure, and one of the three major providers of 5G infrastructure in the world, along with Sweden's Ericsson and China's Huawei. And it said Finland can muster 900,000 reserves who have been trained as conscripts in its armed forces. The wartime strength of Finnish forces is 280,000 troops. Finland's ascension comes days after Turkey's parliament voted to ratify the country's membership, clearing the final hurdle for the country to join NATO and putting an end to months of delays. Finnish and Swedish public support for joining NATO surged following the invasion of Ukraine. Everything changed when Russia invaded Ukraine, outgoing Finnish Prime Minister Sanna Marin said last April. People's mindset in Finland, also in Sweden, changed and shifted very dramatically. A chorus of NATO members congratulated Finland as it joined the alliance on Tuesday. Finland, welcome to NATO. Britain's Prime Minister Rishi Sunak tweeted. This is a historic day for you and for our alliance. It's a step that makes every one of us safer. All NATO members now need to take the necessary steps to admit Sweden. So we stand together as one to defend freedom in Europe and across the world. He also called on Turkey and Hungary to ratify Sweden's bid for NATO membership. German Chancellor Olaf Scholz also hailed Finland's accession to NATO. Finland is now a member of NATO. This is good news and a victory for transatlantic security. With Finland, our defense alliance has gained a strong friend, he tweeted. Scholz also gave his backing to Sweden's bid to join the military alliance. Joseph Borrell, the European Union's foreign policy chief, tweeted, I warmly welcome the accession of Finland to NATO. This historic step will strengthen the alliance, reinforce European and transatlantic security, and contribute to further fostering our EU-NATO strategic partnership. Finland officially became the 31st member of the North Atlantic Treaty Organization, better known as NATO, marking a major shift in the security landscape in northeastern Europe that adds some 1,300 kilometers, or equivalent to 830 miles, to the alliance's frontier with Russia. The Nordic nations' accession was sealed during a formal ceremony at the NATO headquarters in Brussels on Tuesday. U.S. Secretary of State Anthony Blinken and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg were on hand as Minister of Foreign Affairs. Pekka Haavisto established Finland's accession.